Well, y'all know who it is. Terrence K. Williams here. And I'm excited, really excited. I am with my sister, Angela Stanton-King. And we're going to try to behave ourselves. When I get with Angela, I don't know how to act, okay? Because she don't know how to act. So, yeah, we're going to try to keep it as clean as possible, as professional as possible.
Yes.
But it probably is not going to be possible. So, Angela, what's going on?
What's up, Terrence?
I'm in the great state of Georgia right now. Atlanta, Georgia.
I know, right?
Now, you were born and raised in Atlanta, right?
No, not born here, raised here. My mother's side of the family has always been here, owned a home here for over 55 years. So
okay.
This is where the entire maternal side of my family resides.
Yeah.
Me. Yep.
So you were born where, though?
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
So you're born in Buffalo.
Let me correct that. Born in Chevy, Maryland. My mother was with my dad. He drove trucks. So he made a stop in Chevy, Maryland. Had me. Stayed there 6 weeks. Then Buffalo. In Buffalo, first part of my life. Back and forth to Atlanta, Georgia. Ended up here.
Yeah. Well, Atlanta's great. Y'all got some bomb food out here. This food in Atlanta is the bomb.com.
Yeah, it is.
And there are a lot of black people in Atlanta.
A whole lot of black people.
People want to talk about moving back to Africa. Just move to Atlanta.
You might as well. They say this is Wakanda, so you know.
This is like the Uganda of America.
It is.
It is. A lot of black people here.
A lot. A lot of from the entertainment world, you know, from the, sports world. And it's really popping. You know, especially with, black, celebrities and business people and stuff. Yeah, it's a good place to be.
Yeah, so do you have a lot of celebrity friends here?
I have quite a few.
I mean, because you were part of a reality show, I heard.
I had From the Bottom Up, which was produced by Queen Latifah on BET. I was on season 3 of that. And then I also kind of was into a little bit of the music world a little bit. So I've got some friends, and there are a lot of people from Atlanta in the entertainment industry. So these are people you cross paths with all the time. You guys you grew up with, or a sister or a cousin, or somebody knows somebody. Yeah. They say the world is small, so imagine all of us, people that are originally from Atlanta. It's not that big.
I got you. So what is a really great restaurant here that have some of the best fried catfish? The best fried catfish or fried chicken. The best.
Man, I'm going to have to give it to Busy Bees. And you know what? I'm upset with Busy Bees because Busy Bees is one of the oldest soul food restaurants in Atlanta. Historic. They have great food. But during COVID, when everybody was kind of like shutting down and not allowing people to come sit in and eat in the restaurants, they kind of like, they opened back up, but they never allowed the people back in the restaurant. Like, Busy Bees, what's up? We want to come sit down and eat. Busy Bees is that soul food restaurant where it makes you feel like you're going over to grandma's house on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like now they still got the dining area closed down, open back up.
Yeah, open back up.
You're still charging dining room prices, so
let us dine in. We want to sit down and eat these collard greens and this cabbage.
Yes.
We want to sit down and eat the sweet potato pie,
but
pound cake.
And they got all that too.
Yeah, pound cake,
everything. Yams. Oh man, Busy Bees. That's the place.
They got yams too.
Yes.
Collard greens.
Yes.
Baked beans,
oxtails,
neck bones.
Do they got neck bones? I'm sure they got.
A lot of restaurants don't sell neck bones.
I'm sure they might have neck bones, but I know they got turkey wings and pork chops and all of that. But it's the place to be.
It's the place to be. Okay, got you. This show is sponsored by Noble Gold, the first sponsor to believe in me. Thank you, Noble Gold. Y'all, the U.S. dollar is losing value every single day. It's called inflation. And the Biden administration isn't doing anything about it. They don't care. And from now and through the next election, they still won't care. The current government, the Biden administration, these people can print as much money as they want. That means the value of your dollar and my dollar is in trouble, and so is your future. So make sure you protect the money you already have. People, please protect your money. Invest in Noble Gold. Invest in gold. Gold protects against rising inflation, recession, and will protect your retirement, which is really important. Noble Gold can help you invest in gold. Contact them now and you'll get a 24 karat gold standard coin for free. And I love free, okay? And but anyways, people, call Noble Gold now at 877-646-5347 and mention my name or click the link in the description. Noble Gold, the only gold company for you. So Angela, everybody asks you this question. So take us back to when Trump pardoned you. He gave you a pardon. And why did he have to give you a pardon? What did you do? What like, you know?
I don't think I did anything. You know, I didn't have to do anything. I think I was deserving.
Yeah.
Because by the time I had requested my pardon, this is after about 15 years worth of work in the community. So
yeah.
We talking about criminal justice reform. I was basically criminal justice reformed. I mean, I had paid my dues. I got out. I worked with the, criminal justice reform initiatives, the prison system, the juvenile system, the schools, the shelters, boot camps, empowering my community. I mean, just over the years, I had done it. I had done my part of nonprofit work. And I mean, if someone has rehabilitated themselves and served their community and shown that they're deserving of a pardon, why not? And I met the requirements, and we were up in there getting pardons for everybody else. So I'd be crazy to be in there like, hey, free everybody but me.
Free me too. Free me too.
Exactly.
You didn't have to free me first, but I want to be free. I am in line though.
Well, so I had already been out of prison, but it was just a matter of clearing my name and then giving me that chance and that opportunity to eventually run for Congress.
Gotcha. Now some people ask me, well, what did she do?
What
happened?
It was a nonviolent. It was a nonviolent crime, and I have a whole book out there. It's titled "Life of a Real Housewife." It actually made number 1 on Amazon 3 times, and it tells the whole story in great detail. But this was the time when I was kind of young and running the streets with Phaedra Parks and her president Apollo from Housewives of Atlanta, and we were doing some illegal things, and we got caught up, and I went to prison, and I had to serve my time in prison. I was pregnant and I gave birth to my daughter, chained to a bed with the sheriff watching. My mother passed away. My grandmother passed away. It was a very, very hard time for me. But when we fast forward to now, we see that here we are 20 years later, that one story touched the heart of President Trump to not only get him to sign the First Step Act, but to also get him to make it illegal for them to chain women during childbirth. And that same baby has won the Harvard International Debate Championship, the first black girl to do so, been on Steve Harvey and got, a full scholarship from all of the Ivy League schools in the country. And it just goes to show you how Satan can mean something for bad, but God can use it for his good.
That's amazing. So that same child is just doing amazing right now.
She's in her second year at MIT right now, and I just couldn't be more proud.
Now, I did not know that President Trump made it illegal for sheriffs, for law enforcement to chain women to a bed while they're giving birth.
Isn't that something?
I did not know
would think that we would do that in America? You wouldn't chain a dog giving birth. And then we talk about family separation. A woman, whether she's incarcerated or not, giving birth, separating a mother and a baby immediately after birth. They don't even separate dogs. Like, you wouldn't separate a puppy from a dog. You would leave a puppy with its mother for 6 weeks. We're taking human babies and separating them from their mothers at birth. Yeah. And so I'm just all about criminal justice reform. Trump was all about criminal justice reform. I think, what I think? With all of the stuff that we see happening to our president, because we know he may not be everybody's president, but he's our president.
Yeah, he's my president.
I think he's coming back ×3 on criminal justice reform, because it's like, it's one thing to hear our story and to be moved by what we say to him about our experiences. But now that he has had his own experience with a corrupt and unjust system, I just can't wait to see what he does when he gets
Trump
back
is
in.
coming back and he is knocking doors down. He's knocking doors down.
I'm going to be right behind him. Bulldozer.
Open it up.
Bulldozer.
Kicking doors down. Right. Now my legs ain't that strong.
But mine's long.
Yeah. I do the first kick. Somebody might have to kick it open though.
Yeah, we definitely, and I think that our community too, they see things differently now. You know, they're looking at things differently now. And
but do you think if our community is seeing things differently now, but when 2024 comes around, are they going to listen to CNN this time?
Probably.
Are they, you know? So they like, because I do hear a lot of black people say, I do hear some people who like some people even in my family, even people I know who would never vote for at the time they would never vote for Trump, but now they're saying, oh, I'm gonna vote for Trump now because you know I was making way more money and what they doing to him is crazy and da 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 da. But when 2024 comes around the corner, the Democrats are going to be selling a bunch of bull crap. And the media, they know how to fool people. I'm wondering now, are they going to...
And you know what else they know how to do?
What?
They know how to cheat.
Yes.
In the name of Jesus, they know how to cheat. So, you know, I'm praying, Terrence. I'm praying, you know, but I believe that God is amazing and he can do anything. And I'm just hoping that this atmosphere, the atmosphere is just ready to shift, and that the power is just ready to be given back over to, you know, things that are of good, because the things that we're seeing right now, regardless of who is in office, let's just talk about the things that people are experiencing.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't even feel good. It doesn't make you feel good. And I mean, it's not coming from a place of peace or happiness. Everything is about being forced. And I mean, we're just all in an uncomfortable place right now. And I'm just hoping that America can find peace.
Yeah.
Yep.
But in order for
and
America, we gotta, but people gotta wake up to what's going on, and realize what's going on for us to get there.
Yeah.
You know, because if you act like there's nothing, there's nothing happening right now, that we're not in a bunch of chaos. Right. You know, but the only way things change is people stand up. You know, and because we have to be the change that we want to see.
Yep.
So I am nervous about next year because I really want people to really change.
Well, I mean, we got to get out here and we got to get active too. And I think what you're doing is great. Like, you now have a platform and you're giving voice to Black conservatives that have the influence to change minds. And I think that that's important in 2024.
But how do we get the votes of Black people who refuse to listen to conservative voices though? Because there are some people who won't listen to, as soon as they see, you know, a MAGA hat, they're not going to listen. Or as soon as they see a picture with you, you know, like, how do we get those people though?
I mean, I don't think we're going to get everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? We're not going to get everybody, but we don't need everybody either. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We need to just wake up all the lions, and then the lions can gather the sheep. You know what I'm saying? So as long as we get enough lions behind us, the sheep will come. And I mean, it's not for everybody, but for those of us that see what's happening and those of us that are ready to make a difference, I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, I'm ready. I'm expecting anything. I mean, now they talking about nominating Trump for Speaker of House. I mean, we just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to, you know, keep the faith and just do the work that I do in the community. Because the one thing that I've learned is that I've been able to do more for my community without even having a seat as an elected official. Yeah. And I think that I'm comfortable in that space.
Yeah. So you don't ever plan on running again?
I'm not gonna say ever. But if I run again, I want it to be fair. And I want to know that the people have a chance. Because if I run, I'm not running for me. I'm gonna run for the people that support me and get behind me. And I want to know that they have a fair chance. And if I don't believe that the people that's gonna believe in me is gonna, cause see, if I fail, then that means that they lose their belief in me. Yeah. And I don't want to fail if I'm up against a rigged system. So once I know that we have a fair shot, then that's something I would consider.
Yeah. And I do believe, and when you were running, there were a lot of Republicans who should have stood behind you and who should have supported you. Yep. You know? Yep. Like you would have been great. But those same people that refuse to support you, those are some of the same people who really didn't want President Trump in office. Yep. You know, and the fact that he gave you a pardon. Oh no,
And I'm out of here. And I'm out of here from there. There's no.
And you can't be controlled.
No, and I'm not going to be controlled.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to be controlled by either party. Right. And I'm not going to be controlled by a person. I'm going to be controlled by the will of God, you know, whenever his call is on my life. And if his call is for me to speak up about us putting value on Black life and just stop throwing away our babies and just stop feeding into these agendas that depopulate us as a people, then that's who I am. And whoever's going to get mad is going to get mad. But guess what? At the end of the day, the one thing they won't say about me, they can't say that I didn't care, because Auntie Angie, we are really saving lives and changing lives.
Yeah,
we're really doing the work.
So tell us about Auntie Angie's house.
Oh, man, Auntie Angie's. Isn't that something? I'm an auntie now. I got all of these babies. So being close to Trump's administration, and I'm sure this is something that you can agree with, I think opened our eyes to a lot of stuff that we may not have been aware of prior to. And I think that I was totally shocked by the numbers of abortion and how it impacts the Black community. But that with the Black maternal health crisis was something that just started tugging at my heart, because I couldn't understand the logic behind, Black women dying, giving birth to the baby, and then the solution to the Black women dying being abortion. And this was during the time that everybody was just screaming, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matters. Now, I don't agree with the organization, the Marxist movement, but I do believe in Black life because I'm Black and I have a Black life.
Right.
And so I'm like, if Black lives matter and there's a Black maternal health crisis, then why are we executing all of this Black life? And what is going to be the solution to the Black maternal health crisis? And I'm like, well, we need to get back to natural birthing methods. Because I was just thinking, I'm like, I remember Suge's house. That's what we called my grandmother's house. She had 10 children, all naturally, like in a shed. They didn't go to a doctor. Everybody was perfectly healthy and fine. So I'm saying, if Black women are dying 3 times likely to any other woman giving birth, then something is not right. Because if you use common sense, that's almost like saying all Black horses are dying or all Black cows are dying, right? It just, birth is natural. It does not make sense. So I said, let me open a safe place that women who choose life can go to and get the support that they need, the help that they need, the services that they need, the resources, just everything, a one-stop shop. And not only let me create this place, but if this is really about a choice, right? We're going to support the women that choose life, but we also are going to put a life resource in Black communities that only get Planned Parenthood. If you just do the numbers and you research where these Planned Parenthoods are strategically placed, you know that over 80% of their Planned Parenthood facilities are in our communities. We get abortion clinics, they get fertility clinics. So I said, how are they having a choice if the only place that they're sending them is Planned Parenthood? So I said, we're going to create Auntie Angie's, and we're going to pray that God blesses us to be able to expand and have Auntie Angie's everywhere a Planned Parenthood is. And today I went to the Atlanta City Council meeting and shut it down. They were about to give $300,000 to another abortion clinic over here. I said, I give it to Auntie Angie's. They voted against it, and they scheduled a meeting, the commissioners of Fulton County, to come by and check out Auntie Angie. So
that's amazing. I hope they give you all the $300,000.
Well, I mean,
because you need it, because you're doing something good.
Well, I mean, why is all the funding? Because my argument is, why is all the funding and the resources going to women who gonna kill the baby anyway? They don't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
Give it to the woman that chooses life.
Right.
If you ask any taxpaying citizen in Atlanta, even if they believe in abortion, if you ask them, okay, where do you want your funding to go to? Do you want your funding to go to kill babies, or do you want your funding to go to help women with babies? What do you think they're going to say?
To help women with babies.
Okay, that's what this is about. If you
to help women with babies. If you
want to have an abortion, you pay for it. I wasn't there when you made the baby. You ain't called me to get none of the good feeling. So why my money got to pay the... You pay for it.
And paying to kill a baby is just insane.
It's insane. It's pure insane. Irresponsibility.
It's insane.
And it's no longer about rape or incest. Yeah. It's about using abortion as a form of birth control.
Yes.
Right.
Now, but a lot of people do use the whole rape thing and the incest thing on the reason why abortion should be legal.
Right.
Why abortion is okay. But like, but they make it sound like that most abortions are because of rape and incest.
And they're not, because rape and incest are only 1% of abortions. But even in the instance of rape, and we have all seen these movies, and a lot of us know our family history, where, some of us have come from the lineage of somebody being raped, especially, during times in slavery. And I even have a particular, situation in my own family where one of my cousins was conceived from rape, but she is now an adult and married and has her own children. And what we have to realize is even in that instance, it's still a life, right?
Yeah.
And as a mother, if I was in that situation, I think it would take more love and understanding that baby is still mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Than it does hate. Hate causes you to say, I can't handle this. I can't do this. Because if you can't kill the rapist, why kill the baby? Let me kill the rapist. The baby dying. The baby haven't committed no crime. The baby
why?
You
know what?
Here.
That's a good question.
If you can't kill the rapist, why kill the baby? Kill both. Let me kill both. Can I kill the baby and the rapist? Then that's fair.
Exactly. Yeah. But we don't want to kill the babies, though.
No, we want to kill the babies. We don't want to kill the rapists.
No, I said we don't want to kill the babies.
No, of course not. But I'm just saying, thinking about it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And just the ideology and how crazy these laws have been. And I mean, even the people that stay on the front line and say, we believe that, Black lives matter. But then on the other hand, want to abort to fund the execution of Black life in the womb. It just makes absolutely no sense. Like, we cannot make, especially us, because we supposed to be white supremacists because we Trump supporters or whatever. But how can you make a white supremacist value Black life when you can't even make the Black men and women who create the Black life value the Black life that they create?
Yeah. And how can you be worried about a white supremacist or a racist killing a Black person when you doing it for them?
That's what the man said to me today when I was walking out of Atlanta City
You are
Council.
making, actually, if you think
doing the work for him.
You're doing the work for him. So if you believe that America is full of white supremacists who hate Black people, then you are doing them a favor by exterminating Black children.
That's what this guy, I was walking out of Atlanta City Council today, and I can tell that I had moved this guy with my words. And he said, sis, but what about when the police get him? The police gonna kill him? I said, so what, we gonna kill him first? You doing the work for him. Like, we cannot allow that to be an excuse.
Yeah.
We're doing the exact same thing. And anybody that understands lifespan development, you are the same person from the moment of conception, right? Yeah. Lifespan development is a zygote to an embryo to a fetus to an infant to a toddler to a child to a teen to an adult to an elder. Yeah. You're the same person throughout that whole process. You're the same person in the womb that you are outside of the womb. The baby doesn't magically change once you give birth. You're the same person throughout this whole process. So what we are doing is picking and choosing when to end that life. Some may end it in the zygote stage. Some may end it in the fetus stage. Some may end it in the toddler stage, a teen stage. Either way you look at it, once that life has been created, there is only one way to end it. And abortion doesn't stop you from being a parent or having a baby.
Just because you go to the club and you have a one-night stand and get pregnant does not mean you should have an abortion.
Well, what it means is you should have safe sex.
You should have safe sex. Wrap it up. Oh. I told y'all she was gonna act up.
It's an option.
She was gonna act up.
It's an option.
Right.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Well.
Oh, man.
It beats, because reality is that nobody that's ever went into an abortion clinic and had an abortion has walked out with the baby's remains, right? So I'm starting to think that something more sinister is going on, because if you have a miscarriage in a hospital and they'll usually give you the baby's remains, tell you to call the funeral home or whatever, but if you go to an abortion clinic, you never leave with the baby's remains. So we're hearing all of these stories. And
have people asked for the remains?
I don't think anybody's asking, but hear me out. Because I think Project Veritas did a story on this. But if, let's say, the remains are being sold for whatever reason, stem cells, whether it's hearts, whether it's lungs, whatever. And let's say that they're pushing this issue of abortion because there's a lot of money being made on the back end. If you were telling this Black woman to abort her baby because she's poor, and then you're making money off of the remains, shouldn't that money at least go to that Black woman? Like, I just want it all to make sense.
Yeah, it don't make sense at all.
something more sinister is going on. The fact that these people want to push and encourage all of this promiscuous sex, push and encourage all of this abortion instead of pregnancy prevention, something else is going on, and all I want to do is save our babies.
So what about if a woman comes to you and say, Angela, I don't want my child. I'm pregnant. I don't want the child. But after listening to you, I don't want to get an abortion. But when this baby is born, I don't want this baby. How do you handle that? Like, do you have, like protocols for that?
We do. And a lot of counseling comes in place. I'll tell you right now, me personally, I'm all about keeping the mother and the baby together, even the father. We got some situations where the mother can't stand the father. I'm all about trying to keep the family together because I believe, family unity is important. But I like the concept of adopting the mother and the baby together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you have some mothers that just feel like they just can't do it, and maybe they can't. But does it have to be the type of adoption where the child is taken away and we're changing all of the paperwork and the child never has contact with his family again? You can talk to this. When those children grow up, they want to know where they come from. They want to know who their family are. Why can't we create a system where we adopt the mother and the baby and we keep, a child having 2 parents, 3 parents, 4 parents, 5 parents, or just a big circle of people that loves them is only beneficial for the child.
Yeah,
so that's what Auntie Angie's is all about. But if there's a situation, and we get that with some women that are raped, they don't want to kill the baby, but they don't want nothing at all to do with the baby. That's still a beautiful situation because you're giving that child a chance to live. Right. And so, of course, we can connect with other adoption agencies if that's the place and refer them out. But my goal always is to keep the family together.
Yeah, take them in, though. They can still come to Auntie Angie's regardless of what they want to do with the child afterwards. Yes. They can come and you'll take care of them, help them out.
And being pregnant is you need peace. You can't have a healthy baby. The baby feels everything the mother feels. So if the mother's stressed out, the mother's homeless, the mother's fighting, the mother's in a domestic violence relationship, everything that goes through the mother's body goes through the baby's body. So we want the mother to be at peace. We want our children to be at peace. We want them to feel loved. We want them to know that they're wanted. So many times now you'll hear a girl say she's pregnant. Look at this Krishan and Blueface situation and the little baby. How many times they done talked about aborting the baby before the baby even got here? Just speaking curses over the lives of these children before they even get here. Yeah. At Auntie Angie's house, we want our babies to know that they are loved and they are welcome. Well, the womb is a life portal. We have to stop committing murder in the womb. We have to.
I totally agree. Now, speaking of children and babies, Angela, when I if I'm scrolling on Facebook, I've seen so many viral videos of you. People are mad at you for not respecting their pronouns, their gender identity. Angela, will you start respecting people's pronouns and gender identities?
No. I'm gonna tell you why. No. This is gonna be funny and nobody laugh, but y'all see how tall I am, right? Yeah. So when I was in high school, I was like the tallest, not even just high school, but grammar school. I was the tallest girl in the class. I was taller than all the boys, right? And I was skinny because I hadn't sprouted yet. So I didn't have, big breasts. I didn't have hips, none of that. And everybody used to call me a boy. They used to say I was a man. It wasn't no damn law making them say that I was a woman, and I really was. So, and I'm a real woman. Why am I gonna honor something that I know is just not true? Now, I don't have to hate you, and I don't have to dislike you, but you're not gonna force me to partake in your delusion. Absolutely not. Yeah. And I'm saying that respectfully. And I think that everybody in America needs to get a grip. You can respect people for living their life how they want to live their life. But to force me to believe something that I know is not true is an attack on my conscience. Right. And that's not freedom.
Like, I can't sit here and force you to believe that I'm a frog.
No, I can't sit here and force you to believe I'm white and deserve white privilege.
Yeah.
Even though you see me with Trump, I'm still just another nigga. Remember, we can't get our white privilege no matter what we do. We in the Oval Office with them and still can't get our white privilege. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, so you can be anything but white.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I love you, Angela.
I know. I love you too. I'm just saying. I still can't get my white privilege for some reason.
You're not getting it. You're
right.
not getting it. Even though people call you a white supremacist, you're not getting it.
I can't get my white privilege.
You're not getting it. It's not going to happen.
Can't get my white privilege.
And I saw a video where you were at a drag show. And there were children at the drag show.
Yep.
And I don't remember. I saw the video, but you were there though.
Yep.
And like, what were they doing at the drag show? Like,
first of all, I was on vacation and we were on Miami Beach, and the name of this place is called Palace Bar. And so me and my girlfriend were just out walking on the beach, and we were like, "Hey, let's go get something to drink." We hear the loud music, the lights. We're like, "Okay, this is popping." So we walk over there, and they're like, "Hey, show us your ID." Scan it on the thing. They even took the barcode. I'm like, "Okay, so this is adults only if I got to show my ID." So we go in, we're sitting down having a good time. Next thing I know, the lights, camera come on, and here they come. It's a drag show, right? They come out, they're putting on a performance. It's 3 men dressed as women. They hunching on each other, dry humping each other in the mouth and all of this, but it's all adults there, right? And I'm just having a good time. I'm like, okay, cool. So next thing I know, it's time for the next performance. And out of nowhere, they got these kids. This is 12 o'clock at night. Now, I had to show my ID to get in. So now I'm trying to figure out, what did the children have to show to get on stage? Because nobody told me I could go perform on the stage and collect some money. I'm just trying to figure out what the protocol is. The children are on the stage. It's 12 o'clock at night. They're performing with drag performers. They're making sexy poses. Their shoes are too big. They got masks on. Their hair looks dirty. All type of things are running through my mind. I don't know what to think. But the first thing I did was went live and asked the manager, why is this allowed? Because I know that if I wanted to go get my nephew right now, who's getting ready to graduate from high school, and take him to Magic City, and let him see some ass and titties, right? They're gonna say that he's not allowed in. You're gonna say it's against the law. But you telling me that I can come to a bar in Miami at 12 o'clock at night and watch children partake in adult entertainment after you charge me an entry fee? So now you have me aiding and abetting the exploitation of these children. Absolutely not. And I went live and it was a big thing. And the next thing you know, Republican conservative attacks us and says we're exploiting children and now we're getting death threats. So all of a sudden I was the cause for them getting death threats.
And they probably accuse you of putting the child's life in danger too, right?
And they put me out, told me that my money wasn't welcome there anymore. And then next thing I know, I was labeled as transphobic and I hated LGBTQ. All because, first of all, my mother instincts kicked in. And I don't know what's happened or what's changed, but I know from when I was brought up, like, we just didn't expose young children to certain things.
Yeah. Kids don't need to be at a club, at a bar. You have to be 21 to get into a bar. Like y'all went in for drinks.
I showed my ID to get in, so what did they show to get on the stage? That's the question. And that's why America needs Trump.
That's insane.
Yep.
That is insane.
Yep.
That is insane.
Yep. And it's out there for anybody who needs to go research it, and it's still unbelievable. And it's still happening all across this country. You know, drag queens able to perform sexually explicit dances half naked in front of children, as long as it's under the guise of LGBTQ. And I'm like, you know, our people, the only thing we want to fight is this thing called racial injustice. And we're silent on what's happening to our children, and they being swept right from up under our noses.
Now, why do you think a lot of people are not seeing that, though?
The media, for one thing, and the influencers. The influencers are not highlighting it. How many people do you see from my background, from my community, that's really, you know, about the Black community that's out here representing, saying save the children? You know what I'm saying?
Not a lot of people at all.
No, but how many of them do you see say defund the police? You know what I'm saying? Like, that we're our focus, and I'm not saying that I'm saying we can do we can do more than one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying? We can multitask. One fight doesn't mean that this fight isn't just as important. If we want to be free as a people, like, we got to get involved in all of this, and we have to push all of these initiatives. And we cannot be silent on what's happening to our children. Right.
Because just like you said, though, Black lives, if they matter, they need to matter in every situation.
Yep.
Not just when a white cop shoots a Black person. Yep. It needs to matter from the womb
to the tomb.
To the tomb.
Yep.
It needs to matter when they go to school. It needs to matter. You need to be going visiting those classrooms, seeing what those teachers are teaching your child.
Oh, yes.
That it matters then, because whatever they're teaching them is going to affect their life. So their life should matter all the time, not just when it comes to police officers.
Yep.
Because now what I will say is this: is I do understand. Yes, there are racist cops. Because
they're not all racist.
But they are not all racist, okay?
Right. It's good and bad and
but you have good cops, you have bad cops, okay?
Right.
You have good doctors, you have bad doctors.
Everything.
Okay? The lady
you got good Christians and bad
Exactly.
Christians. You got good Republicans and bad Republicans.
You got good Popeyes workers and bad Popeyes workers. I'm just saying.
That's how it works.
You have good and bad people, evil and good. So of course there are going to be bad officers and there are going to be good officers.
Right.
But yes, there have been instances where officers may have wrongfully killed somebody, a black person,
right.
So yes, we can focus on police brutality or whatever, but we also need to focus on, like you said, we need to focus on this abortion stuff. Yep. We also need to focus on the crime in our communities.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, right now, we are not living in the 1960s.
Listen.
Okay, we are not living in the 1950s. This is not the early
everybody I know that I love that has been murdered by somebody that looks like me. Okay? Now, I'm not one of these people to sit up here and say that racism doesn't exist, because it does.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these people to sit up here and say that white supremacy doesn't exist, because I believe that it does. But guess what I also believe in? I also believe in black supremacy. Okay? I also believe that there are some black people that believe that they are so superior than other people that they have the right to take their life. Okay? Yeah. Or that they have the right to oppress them. You understand what that's my definition.
A lot of people that I know a lot of people who did not make it to 18 years old. Mm-hmm. Did not make it to 18, killed in drive-bys, killed in alleyway, killed not by police officers. And I'm not saying, people, whenever you say that, people try to twist your words and oh, you're taking away from what happened. What about George? I'm not saying that. But let's just be honest though. Literally 100% of the black men that were murdered, that I knew that were murdered, were all murdered by other black people.
I don't know anybody that's been murdered. Nobody personal to me that's been murdered by somebody.
And I'm saying though, times have changed from when Martin Luther King was around. Black people can't go outside and walk around with their white girlfriends without being hung from a tree.
Right.
Yes, a lot of that stuff did happen. But to say that most black people are being killed by police officers,
that's not true.
That is just insane.
We know that's not true. We can look at the number in Chicago's, and we could just look at the numbers based in our own communities. But two things can be true at the same time. There can be community policing that needs to be addressed, needs to be reformed. Police needs to be reformed. Policing does need to be reformed. Mm-hmm. I do believe that there are certain solutions to community policing, and I think that one of the best things that we can do as a community is, if you have an issue with how the police are policing your area, become the police.
Exactly.
Go apply. You know what I'm saying? Don't just, we're going to hate everybody. And then another thing we got to stop doing as a people is, how we coming against the whole police department. Who you going to call when Pookie and Ray Ray bust grandma in the head on her way home from church and rob her and take her pocketbook? What systems do y'all have put in place before we defund the police and before y'all tear down Cop City? What systems do we have in place to protect our people?
You know what? And when we talk about justice, I believe if anybody is wrongfully killed, there should be justice, okay?
Of course.
Anybody, they should get justice.
Yeah.
And I also want us to use that same energy when it comes to black on black crime, because I know some mothers who have recently lost their sons from being killed by another black person, and they are desperately cannot sleep at night because nobody will speak up and say who did it.
And we have also lost the fathers of our children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because my son's father, was murdered and had his head blown out by somebody that looked just like us. And what happens in those instances, especially with these murders in our community, is they kill two birds with one stone. Especially if it's gang life. Okay, you part of the gang, whatever. You kill him. Okay, he dead, and you in prison for the rest of your life. So now we got two sets of children growing up fatherless. You understand where I'm coming from? And like you say, people, this no snitch rule.
Yeah, no, I beg. I'm begging the black community, please start snitching. Speak up, because I personally know mothers who literally cannot sleep right now, and there are people out there who know who killed this woman's child, but they won't say nothing because they don't want to be a snitch.
Mm-hmm.
But
like it's something cool.
Like it's something
until
cool.
They come kill your people.
But don't come to me and speak about justice when you won't even encourage people to speak up when our people are killed by our own people.
That's the same thing.
Justice should matter at all times.
Yep.
Like, I'm telling you right now, if you kill somebody and I know about it, I'm headed straight to... I'm talking to the police while I'm on the way to the police station, because I'm going to tell y'all on the phone, and I want to tell you in person.
Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, and that's still true. It still rings true today. And I just think, like you said, the bottom line to the conversation we had today, which was so great, is, like, are we really putting our focus where our focus needs to be as a community? And are we paying attention to how there has been a shift in our civil rights movement? Mm-hmm. Because when we talk about Martin Luther King and we talk about Malcolm X and all the great ones that came before us that were fighting for this movement, it was all about us being treated equally because we were being discriminated against because of the color of our skin. It's no longer about the color of your skin. It's more so about the preference of your sex, whether you like to get stuck or whether you like to stick it, okay? Yeah. And what I'm saying is that's not civil rights, because I could go anywhere, right? And if, let's just say I'm a bulldagger today, right? And I want to dress like a man, you know what I'm saying? And I go somewhere that's against, LGBTQ homosexuality. I can go back and look feminine. I can change that to get into that country. But what I can't change is my skin color. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the black community has to be very, very careful with giving up their freedoms over to an agenda that just really does not represent them at all, because none of us were created from an LGBTQ lifestyle. We all were created from heterosexuality. So I don't know if that's something that we should be attacking or trying to overrule. It's the creation of life.
Yeah, we should care about.
Do what you do. Yeah. But how you gonna just try to just, no, your kids are gonna be gay, or your kids are gonna be transsexual. We're gonna cut them off, and no, protect trans kids. You're gonna protect my kid from me. You didn't birth this kid, you didn't raise this kid, you haven't invested in this kid, you haven't bought one pamper, you haven't set up one night at the doctor, you haven't done anything. Yeah. But here you come telling me that you are protecting my kid from me because I don't want my child taking hormones, or I don't want my child dismembered.
Which is insane, because you are the mother, or that person guy is a father. They should have say so.
Listen.
And no child, to be honest with you, I personally think this. I don't even think a parent should have the right to allow their child to be castrated. I don't think
nobody.
Not even a parent.
Decision.
Not even a parent.
You were talking to a woman who sat on Dr. Phil, and this man looked me in my eye and told me that I did not know what I gave birth to. This is what the hell we are dealing with in America. Yeah. And this is why America needs Trump. I'm going to say that one more time.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is why.
Because you do have a child that identifies as transgender.
I have one.
Yes. And I have met your child.
Yes. Jay.
I have met your child. And one thing I do want to say is, to all the people who don't know Angela, Angela loves her child. Although Angela birthed a boy, and she is going to always know and realize that that's what she birthed, because she knows the child came out of her. But Angela loves her son. Mm-hmm. She loves him. So
period.
She may not agree with him being trans and with him identifying as a woman. But I can tell you this, I saw them together, and she is still the mother of that child.
I love my baby. Yeah. And
Yeah.
It's my responsibility to tell my child the truth.
Exactly.
Nobody else's. That's my child.
Yep.
I birthed that child. I raised that child. I'm going to walk with that child until the end of time. Hopefully, I'll go before my child does because I don't want that. But what I'm saying is, that is my responsibility,
Right.
I will always tell my children the truth and what I know to be true. Whatever decision they make, they can. But as a parent, it's my responsibility. Now, if I don't tell you the truth and you go do something and then you come back and you say, Mom, see, my job is to guide you. You make your own decision, but I have to give you the truth. I'm not giving my children a false reality. And if people are going to hate me for that, they're going to hate me for that. And I love my children enough to tell them the truth.
And they love you too.
And they love me. Yes. My baby love me.
Exactly. I know.
Yes, very much so. And it's not what people try to make it seem, but all of this is biblical. When they talked about Adam and Eve and the serpent putting enmity between, the mother and the child. You understand where I'm coming from? That's why, for me, after that whole Dr. Phil fiasco, it was important for me to recreate that bond with my child and get back involved in his life because we had separated for some time. Because I knew that if I was not there as a covering, then anything would be able to come in. Yeah. Right? See, I'm the wall. You know what I'm saying? A little bit can come in, but everything can't come in. It's just like any of us that can still pick up the phone and call our parent. You know what I'm saying? To this day. Many of us can't, but some of us can. And then some of us don't have our biological parents, but we have a mentor in our life. But being able to call somebody before you just go head first into that wall, somebody that can tell you, hold on, wait a minute, slow down. Somebody that loves you, regardless of the outside world, right? It ain't about social media and how many likes and clicks you get. This mama, come here, sit your behind down. This me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we're at. And you have to accept the fact that I'm a Trump-loving conservative. And I got to accept the fact that you believe that you're a woman. Yeah. You ain't ugly, so I can halfway handle it. Now let's keep going.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I had to, I'm like, God, how? Yep. And God was like, he could look like, that one that tried to attack you on Dr. Phil. And I was like, well, you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of, though, I want to go back to Angie's house.
Okay.
A lot of Trumpers were mad at you for having RFK Jr. at your house, at your nonprofit house that is used for women who want to keep their babies and to help out these single mothers. And Angie's house is not a political organization. It's all about the babies. So I believe when it comes to nonprofits and when you're helping people, it doesn't matter who's coming to help, who's coming to visit. It's for everybody.
I was emotionally disturbed about that for a couple of days, and I'll tell you why. Because you actually came to our grand opening. Yes. And I had invited Trump to our grand opening too. And I know I don't have his phone number, so I can't pick up the phone and call him personally. But we got connects. We know who to call. And I called his team, and they told us that he wouldn't come because it was too small. And I didn't make a big fuss about it. I just said, okay, I'm going to keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just keep working so I can get me a big building. You know what I'm saying? That was my mindset. But then when Kennedy came and I started getting attacked, it hurt because I'm like, I did give this opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to President Trump. And the whole while I was creating Auntie Angie's house, I had Trump in mind because I knew that he wasn't a racist and I knew that this was something that he would support. And I was always just thinking about that day when I have him there with those black mothers and black babies. Because how can you continue to call somebody a racist that's supporting an initiative that saves black life, that's helping black women? You know what I'm saying? Goes against the whole agenda. So when Kennedy, who was somebody that I had known prior to him running for office, and I don't know how many people know, but I kind of traveled the country with Kennedy on a lot of the mandates that were being put in place regarding the vaccine with, Biden's administration. So he and I had already had a working relationship. And I was just so honored that he felt that we were important enough to take time out of his day, to come all the way to our town and sit down with us and sit on the sofa and, talk to the mothers and hear their stories and hear my reason for fighting. And this is someone who's pro-choice. but he understands that it's important to support the women that also choose life. So it wasn't a political thing.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, we're here. We need help. We've been asking for help. People see that we're out here. We've got a lot of work to do. And anybody that wants to come and help the mothers and babies that are here, then they're welcome.
Yeah.
And we're not a political football.
Yeah.
I love Trump. I love Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against either one of them. I think that they're both great people. Trump has done a lot of things for me to get me in my position. I think that a lot of times Trump gets blamed for things that he's not even aware of because it's the people around him that make decisions for him that aren't always the best decisions.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're still a team.
And I guarantee you too, his team didn't even ask him.
No, they didn't.
I guarantee you.
Because they made the decision themselves.
Because Trump do things that people like. To be honest, I could see Trump going to your house.
I know he would come. He was at an ice cream parlor, so it's not about it was too small. You just didn't ask him.
Because Trump will come through. He will, if he
especially for his people.
Especially for his people.
And if he couldn't come through, he would have. If he'd have been notified, if he couldn't come, he would have did a shout out. He may have even sent a check.
Even if he didn't go
his support.
Exactly. Or he would have made a true
he would have sent Lara or Eric or Don.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody, right.
Trump is a good guy and he does care.
He is.
But to be honest though, you have a lot of gatekeepers.
Yep.
And I believe Trump is surrounded by some people who really are not in this for the right reasons.
Nope.
And they are in it for themselves.
And they hurt him.
And Trump is a good person, but there are some people around him who need to be removed. I can guarantee you now, though, Trump is the type that will show up to that house, even if he don't go in. He'll be outside taking a photo in front of it.
I know he's gonna come and that's why a lot of people didn't agree with kind of how I handled that situation, but I felt like it was important for me to just say something because I wanted him to know. Because he never knows, but he finds out and he gets the backlash from it. But like I said, as a team though, we're gonna move forward because what I had to think about is although I was in my feelings, I had to also think about, Angie, maybe this is just not the time because there is a lot of things going on right now. You know what I'm saying with the indictment, even though the team didn't do right, but give him a pass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love Trump and I know he supports me.
Yeah.
And I know he will support me. And I'm going to just keep doing the work because the work got to be done.
Because at the end of the day, you know what? Auntie's Angie house is not about politics.
Nope.
It's not about Angela Stanton-King.
Nope.
It is about those babies. It is about those mothers. That's what it's all about. And that's why, the show has to go on. Regardless of who comes and who don't come. And although some visits will be appreciated and could really go
help
far.
Yeah.
It could help, but I love what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
Saving the babies.
Yes.
Because I'm glad that my mother she could have got abortion. She was on drugs. She could have had many abortions.
And look at you.
But I'm glad she didn't.
Sitting in the Oval Office.
And so I'll be damned if somebody tell me my mama should have killed me because she was broke.
Yeah.
So you telling me I shouldn't be living right now because she didn't have no money? You a damn lie.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Yeah. Now, where can people go to support Angela Stanton-King's Auntie Angie's House?
AuntieAngie'sHouse.com. There it is, right there. Cameraman, you can zoom in, zoom. AuntieAngie'sHouse.com. Guys, this is a safe place for women. Let's put a shift in the atmosphere.
Do you have an Amazon wish list?
We have an Amazon wish list that's being added to the site. It'll be up by the time this airs, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We have an Amazon wish list. We have several ways that you can support. We have a mailing address. You can send in clothes. You can send in Pampers. We just have a whole bunch of different ways that you guys can support us. We're looking for aunties and uncles. We're looking for community partners. We're looking for businesses that want to offer job placement opportunities. We're open to partnering with just about any and everyone that wants to help us because we understand that when it comes to raising children, saving lives, changing lives, it truly takes a village.
Yes, it does. It does. You know what? I think Public Square should have a Public Square wish list. You know, yeah,
that would be nice.
I'm gonna talk to him about that
Talk
because
to him about that.
yeah, because that'd be nice too. Now they have diapers and all that stuff. Have they?
I need to connect with Public Square
Because they just came out with this diaper brand.
Is that Everlife?
Yeah, Everlife.
Is that Everlife? Someone told me about them. I need to connect with them. You got to connect for them?
Yes, I do.
You gonna plug me?
I will.
You heard that?
I will. No, I will.
I know you will.
I will.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys,
sure will,
we're into the life-saving, life-changing business. You are my brother. Your story is one of the reasons why we're doing the work. My story, I was telling Max when I was waiting to come on the interview about how your perspective is from the child and my perspective is from the mother, that had the child.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Wanted to keep the baby. So, let's do the work. We're giving back. And that's what this season is all about. We want our boy Trump to get in. We handle that. But there's two sides to this. We got a for-profit and we have a nonprofit, and the nonprofit work is just as important as the for-profit. And let's keep doing it.
Let's do it. We got to keep doing it.
Yep.
All righty. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Terrence.
I appreciate
it. Bro.
I love you more. All right.
Come on, be a little more active. Come on. There you go.
Awesome.
So Max, we should add in somewhere on the podcast. We should